What can you tell us about the character you're playing?
Character I'm playing, of course, in the 1950s with McCarthyism, everybody was very paranoid in the government. And everybody, you came around the corner, everybody was a communist or homosexual or whatever. And I'm a career military man who's gone straight from the military into politics. And I've been working in the State Department now for quite a few years. And I've, been able to move up. And now they've put me in charge of, Senator McCarthy's looking for the communists. I get to look for the homosexuals.
It's going to be a challenging role to play, would you say?
Were you watching out there?
Here and there.
It is a very challenging role because, again, my character is so much older than the other characters in the show, other than Kitty, who is my wife in the show. And it's like with anything, when you have that age gap, there's always going to be that little bit of a disconnect, but particularly so during, McCarthyism. It's just everybody is, you don't want to say the wrong thing because the wrong person might hear it and suddenly you're behind bars or you're out of a job and can't get a job. And like I said, it's just there's a heightened sense of paranoia amongst everybody. So,
what's the last thing you do before you step out on stage?
I take a lot of deep breaths. I bounce around a lot just to make sure everything's loose. Because no matter what the character is, you've still got to be able to move. And just because your character may be, stiff in that way, still has to be able to move and show fluidity. And I just like to keep loose, and that comes too from being an athlete. Just whenever you go out, onto the floor or onto the diamond or whatever, you always get that nervous energy. And I don't like to say that I get nervous before I perform, but there's always that buildup of energy that you just want to, get out.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and any previous acting experience?
Well, I went from high school right into, community theater, but this was back in the 80s. And I did a lot of theater in New Westminster, and then I went to White Rock and did a lot of theater in White Rock in the 80s. And then it stopped being fun. And I always said when something stops being fun, I don't want to do it anymore. And I also wanted to have the chance to meet somebody and, fall in love, get married, and maybe have a family. And you're not going to do that in the theater. Everybody's got their own agendas and whatnot. So I was able to, I met somebody. We have a beautiful daughter. She's 25 years old, and I've never met a more amazing person in my life. And she owes none of that to me. She's just who she is. And, she's always been supportive of this, but she'd never seen me do this until just before COVID. And that's part of the reason that I came back. I was gone for over 30 years from the theater.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I did. I played a lot of sports, and then I got involved. When she got old enough, I got involved in coaching sports. So I did a lot of coaching right up until about this time last year. And then it was like, okay, you know what? Let's go back and try this again and see what happens. And it was a little frustrating at first this year. The season was like, And then all of a sudden, Kate cast me, and then Kate cast me again. And then I'm going straight from this show to Port Moody to do another show, and then I'm going to take a break.